I know that technically the Vikings are still in the playoff hunt.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
But just for funsies, for S&Gs, because the Vikings, they're not going to make the playoffs. They're 5-8, 13 games in, 4 games left to go. But I just, for funsies, wanted to see the exact percentage chance of the Minnesota Vikings making these playoffs. Craig Peters, senior editor from Vikings.com, puts it, quote, "Math exists, but you don't want to figure out the equation." And then ESPN.com laid out the exact percentage chance, less than 1%. So, yeah, the Vikings, they're not making the playoffs. With 4 games left to go, what do? Do you coast it? No. Good businesses, good organizations, even if they failed a particular quarter or a fiscal year, they use that the rest of the opportunity that they have that, okay, what can we do to prepare for the upcoming fiscal year? Or in the case of the Vikings, what can we do to prepare for the 2026 season? Before we get into the offseason, where you're going to have to make additions, free agency, and the draft, because the Vikings are $36 million in the red, according to Over the Cap. So expect some big changes to this roster going into next year. I'm not expecting any sort of splashes happening in free agency. If anything, you're going to get it from, as far as impact players, if anything, you're going to get those from the draft. That is, if Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah and the entire front office are gone, and they should be gone. I'm not backing off of that stance. We are 4 years in, and in the 4 years that you have drafted, we have right now, 2, 3 players? Less than a full hand of players that you can have impact-wise, or that you have impact-wise right now. I'm off it. They need to be fired. Get them the hell up out of here. But those players that you're going to get in the draft, that's one thing. In the meantime, talking about getting production, getting some sort of value, even in a lost season, the remaining 4 games, we talk about reps. JJ McCarthy, he's going to get his reps. That's one thing. But there's also players that you have that haven't played much at all this season that, hey, this is the prime opportunity to give them some reps so you can see and maybe foreshadow what you have potentially going into next season before any free agent acquisitions are made, before any draft picks are made. And I'm looking at 2 specific guys, one on offense, one on defense, talking about reps the rest of this season so you can see what you've got. Number 1, Ty Felton. And I say that because Jalen Nailor, I think he's done more than enough to stick around with this team. He can be a factor in the passing game. But with going to a run-first offense, that's assuming that KOC keeps it up the rest of the way. And as I mentioned the last video, this is the offense that you need for JJ McCarthy right now. And the more better that he gets, if he gets better, then you can expand the playbook beyond that. But you need to tailor the game plan around your first-year starter. And last game, he certainly did it. Let's see if he keeps it up moving forward the rest of this year. But going to a run-first offense, Jalen Nailor, I think he could be a good wide receiver too. But there really is no need in that type of style to have like 2 dynamic receivers, a Justin Jefferson and a Jordan Addison. At the beginning of this year, and quite frankly, ever since his rookie year, I'm like, pay this man whatever it is that he wants to do. You see how the Bengals pulled it off with their 2 receivers, the Eagles, how they pulled it off with their 2 receivers. Jordan Addison is that dude. But not only does the offense kind of change things a bit, but also he's having a down year. Drops galore. I mean, Justin Jefferson as well, but we're not going to entertain that topic of discussion as far as trade Justin Jefferson. But Jordan Addison, it's one of those things where it's like, do you really want to invest? Because he's going to want T. Higgins and Devontae Smith type of money. Do you really think that we need to pay for that with this type of offense? And who knows, maybe he'll get better next year. You don't have to decide on his fifth-year option until, well, actually, you need to decide on that going into next year. But even if you decline it and he bounces back, you can always use a franchise tag. But that's a whole different thing, whole different topic for another day. I'm just saying, with Jalen Nailor stepping up, the year that Addison had taken a big step down, and with this style of offense being a run-first offense, hopefully moving forward, how much value does Jordan Addison really have on this team? And truly, that I'm genuinely asking that to all of you out there. Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. And before I get to the second player, this video is brought to you by Sleeper. Daily fantasy users, sign up for Sleeper, get a 100% match up to $100 using the promo code Randy. Terms and conditions do apply. Check out Sleeper today. So all I'm saying is keeping all options open. Saying that, all right, Nailor stepped up this year. He could probably be a wide receiver too if he keeps it up. But in the meantime, what would we do at the wide receiver 3 spot if we move on from Jordan Addison? Well, that's why I want to see more of Ty Felton. And if you can't get anything out of him the rest of this year, look forward to maybe wide receiver in the draft. But that's going to be a big decision that this team, this organization is going to have to make on Jordan Addison. Before, you couldn't tell me anything. Now, not so confident. The second player that I want to talk about as far as a player that I want to see get more reps the rest of the way, Terrion Ingram-Dawkins. The limited snaps that he has gotten so far, I like what I have seen from him. And I want to see more of Terrion Ingram-Dawkins. Besides, the fact is, up until the last couple of games, which whoop-de-doo, who gives a damn, we haven't seen much of anything from Javon Hargrave and Jonathan Allen, the big free agent acquisitions last offseason. So you know that you're going to move off one, if not both of them in the offseason. So give this man a chance the rest of the way. Let him get some reps and get his development up going into next year. This is in no particular order, but quarterback, not to say that J.J. McCarthy is going to fail, but you need a backup plan in the event that he gets hurt. Because right now, until we see otherwise, he is an injury-prone quarterback. So somebody that can step in if needed, whether he is hurt or if he somehow finds a way to regress. You just need some sort of insurance policy at that position. So QB2, tight end, because we've seen TJ Hawkinson this year and it's not great, certainly not worth the cap hit and the money that he is getting paid. Center and or guard, defensive tackle, and all the cornerbacks and safeties that you can get. Hitman, very much likely to retire. Josh Metellus, the drop-off in his play from last year to now is crazy. It is insane. Haven't heard much of Theo Jackson at all. Byron Murphy Jr., that's a bad contract. Isaiah Rodgers, man, he'll either have a really good game or a really bad game with nothing in between. You need a secondary, and you need a secondary bad. We're going to talk about the contracts and how the Vikings can get under the cap and do what they need to do in terms of restructuring, making cuts. And then, of course, we'll talk about draft prospects for this team. But the main theme for this video is don't coast it through the remaining 4 games that you have. Don't coast it through. Find out what you have. Not even if it's more than Ty Felton and Terrion Ingram Dawkins, whatever it is, find out what you have from damn near all of your players at their respective positions, because it's going to be a major turnaround with this roster in 2026. We will see you next time.